Hello guys, welcome back. Now today this is going to be a condensed version of the recently released, couple hours ago, interview for the Wuthering Waves, right? And the devs released like a lot of information during this interview, and this is going to be a condensed version where I'm going to tell you everything that was in it, okay? So without further ado, let's begin. First of all, they've been asked different topics, so we're gonna go with order, and we're gonna go and try and check all of the points that they talked about. But if you want to know more information or more detailed information on what they actually said, everything is gonna be sub-English, so you can just go to the source linked in description and go watch it there, okay? Now, first of all, they gathered a lot of feedback from almost every social media for information on how to improve the game. They talked about the color palette, which was a big topic on the feedback. Everybody was saying that it was a little bit depressing, a little less saturated than usual, than normal. And while they were trying to go for the post-apocalyptic vibe, they also realized that yes, we need more variety. So they enhanced the rendering, the shaders, the lighting, more details. There's a new atmospheric system, which depending on the zones, it changes dynamically. So whenever, even on key points of the story, it's going to change, and you're going to see certain biomes transform over time in certain points of the story. There's also special weathers that are exclusive for certain zones and key point in the story. For the cities, they decided to make them more vibrant and relaxed, so the player can be at ease when they're inside the city and on edge when they go outside. Now for the juicy part, is there any new content for the CBT2? Yes, there's going to be realistic weather changes, there's going to be new dungeons, right? And there's going to be multiple dungeons, and each dungeon is going to be dedicated for each of the resonators, which are the characters, and their side stories. They also redesigned important open world points such as the Sakura Tree and much more.
雨天这样的一些常规天气，然后我们也会去做一些明朝世界特有的异象天气。那这些异象天气它一般会结合着剧情的关键节点。
Now, when it comes to the story content, in the past the feedback has been kind of mixed. A lot of people didn't like it, a lot of people like it. So they decided to revamp everything. There's going to be a big revamp of the story. Almost around like the 90% of the story has been completely rewritten. Also, a big amount of resources have been remade, such as the script, voice acting, quest structures, certain art assets, and all of the cinematics have been reworked. Now let's move on and go touch on the character design changes, okay? Now, they decided to add more details on all of the rovers, and now every character is gonna have new idle animation, new poses. The body model has been revamped, texture, body shape, revised hundreds of animations. For example, they changed a lot for Yang design, body shape, and attire. MC looks better and sharper. Baiju is another character that received a lot of changes. For example, hair color changed, outfit changed, and her pet behavior and animation patterns changed dramatically. As for new character, we got two reveals. Lingyang, which is the lion boy, which uses the lion dance fighting style, let's say. And Zhenxing, which is the Taoist monk, has also been shown in the interview. Now we know that the combat is going to be the focus of Wuthering Waves, and it's already pretty good, but there's going to be a lot of new changes and revamps that they did on the combat when it comes to animation, battle effects, lens adjustment, camera tracking. They did a lot of new improvements. They improved animation on running, parrying, evasion. They removed the camera wobble. The tracking on the lock-on is going to be improved and more logical now, and almost every rover and every character, each monsters, including skills even, are going to have their own custom camera tracking. And overall, there's going to be better optimization for the combat in general, which also improves, and they improved the frame rate for combat, and it's going to be more stable and higher. In combat, there is also the QTE system, where you can switch in and out of different characters in your team, and they added intro skills and outro skills, which are going to be completely different from each other, which is pretty good because it's going to give you more strategic freedom when it comes to switching characters in and out depending on the situation. Now let's touch on the ecosystem. The ecosystem is a special system that it's exclusive for Wuthering Waves, where you actually find the monster, and when you kill the monster, there's a chance that they drop the echo. Once you absorb the echo, you gain abilities and stats. Now they optimized the whole system, they improved the animation, camera design, and even the UI where you go and check which echoes you have. On top of that, there's gonna be different echoes that's gonna give you different abilities, including special ones that do different things on the battlefield during battle. For example, as you can see right now, there is the crownless fight where when you see the orange glow, you can counter him by transforming into crownless yourself, and that's gonna use a specific ability that counters him, stunning him for a while and giving you time to deal more damage. As you can see from here, they also redesigned the whole echo gallery, and on top of that, when it comes to actual gameplay mechanics on the open world, there is a chance for you to find a shiny version, rarer version of the echoes that give you better stats, and you can just farming on the open world. When it comes to stats though, there were some concerns about the grind aspect of all of these echoes, like players didn't want to have to grind multiple tiers, multiple types of the same echo over and over. It could become a problem, so that's why they decided to make it easier, and such as now if you want to, for example, get multiple copies of a certain echo to increase it in quality and in stats, now you don't have to go capture the same one over and over. You can now visit a specific fixed point on the open world where you're gonna find a dungeon, you do the dungeon, and you get as a reward multiple copies of different echoes. Now, speaking of open world, they ended the interview by talking about the open world aspects, what to do, and they stress a lot about the fact that they really want to give the players a lot of reasons and a lot of ways and a lot of opportunities to fight, right? So we can expect a lot of combat related challenges, such as tasted fields and now have different debuffs or buffs on them, so the player is gonna have a bigger challenge in fighting in them and clearing them. On top of that, we're also gonna have multiple boss fights that we can choose and at higher difficulty, adjusting difficulty I'm assuming, which also rewards you with loot, and there's also a chance for a special secret echo. Now the interview ends here. If you want to know more, if you want to actually listen to the whole interview, I suggest you go check the original video from the Wuthering Wave channel. It's going to be linked in the description. It looks really good to me, to be fair. I'm really excited for the game. Looks like they spent the last 9 months working really hard, listening to feedback, and judging by how much they changed the game, it really looks like they're actually listening to the feedback, at least for now. So we'll see how it goes on the CBT2. Hopefully we get the chance to play it and try it for ourselves. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you like the channel, leave a like, subscribe if you didn't already for this and more video about Wuthering Waves and other gachas. For now, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.